If you ever encountered a grizzly bear in the wild, you want to know what to do in this situation. This is what this video is about. Hey guys, welcome to the high ground. My name is Fabio, and today I'm sitting in beautiful Montana, and I thought this would be a good point to talk to you about how to handle wildlife encounters, especially encounters with the large predators that we have here in the States, but also partially in Europe. For these predators, we have more or less three types of them. We have wolves, we have bears, and we have big cats, mountain lions, cougars, or similar. Now, we spent quite some time in Montana in the Glacier National Park, and we used the time, we talked to rangers, we had a training about how to handle wildlife encounters, and we also talked to hunters and even veterinarians about the animal life here in Montana or in the States and how to handle it. Maybe let's start with the thing that we will also have in Europe with wolves. Typically, a wolf will not consider a human as prey. It's more an accidental encounter if you really get close to a wolf, although current reports from Switzerland indicate that especially the bigger groups of wolves get closer to humans and will even attack humans. We had that in the Swiss Highlands, um, and yeah, it's a little bit scary. So, what do you do if you encounter a wolf? First of all, you have to make the wolf believe that an attack will not have any chance of success. So you have to make yourself as big as possible. That's an old trick that works really well with wolves. You stare them in the eye, so you show them that you are not afraid. A wolf is a very social animal, so he understands these types of languages or of body language. And this is the best way to really get rid of wolves. If they should try to attack you, they will likely behave like a dog. Um, they will show their teeth. They will snarl at you. So, and if you're in this situation, the best thing you can do is not to run, because that will automatically evoke the instinct for hunt within the animal. But you should, whenever possible, fight back. So grab yourself a stick, whatever you have, and give them hell. Unfortunately, if you would encounter a single wolf, that's not good, because if you really look at them, they can get big compared to our ordinary dogs. But it's likely that you will encounter a whole group of wolves. So you have to be very careful with your back. And yeah, the best thing is really just to show them that you are strong, and then try to move slowly backwards while still looking at them. And yeah, hope for the best. But that should really give you a certain advantage to make it away from the group of wolves. The second type of animal we need to talk about is a mountain lion. And I never saw a mountain lion in the wild, but from what I heard about the encounters, they are super scary. A mountain lion will consider you as prey. So that means the first thing you have to do if you encounter a mountain lion, according to the rangers here, is you have to stare at it. Show him that you are not prey, but that you are also a predator, and that you are not easy to take. We talked to one of our hosts. She is a hunter, and she had basically a deer whistle, where that imitates the sound of a deer for hunting. And she blew it, and she actually attracted a mountain lion with it. And the mountain lion generally tries to approach from the back. And she turned around. She had her 9-year-old daughter with her, and the mountain lion was basically on a big rock, on an elevated position. She tried to really, yes, scare it away, She even shot in the ground in front of the mountain lion. The mountain lion was not impressed on the first shot. It even started to crouch down to jump at her, but with the second shot, then she managed to scare away the mountain lion. So I think that's a really gnarly encounter, and yeah, the mountain lion is really the last thing that I want to see in the wild, at least close up close. So yeah, that's it. You look at it, you look it straight in the eye, you make a ton of noise, you throw things at it. So anything that will really scare it away and show that you are not prey. Maybe also when it comes to the behavior of mountain lions generally will do their best to avoid people. They don't like human beings. As in the example of the story I just told you, the mountain lion thought that there might be an injured deer, right? Because she used the deer whistle. So the mountain lion was not out for humans, but nonetheless, he will still attack if there is a human in reach and if there is the possibility to have this prey. Now, the third group of animals are bears. And there we have to distinguish if we are talking about black bears or if we're talking about grizzly bears. Um, you can recognize a black bear um, by the shape of his booty. Really phrase it like that. He has a big booty, but he doesn't have a big hump on his shoulder, and he has big ears. And overall, the nose of a black bear is much longer, while the other type of bears we have here, the grizzly bear, has smaller booty, a big hump on his shoulder, and has more a stubby little nose. So you can also look at their claws. The claws of a black bear are shorter. They are up to 2 inches, while the grizzly bear claws get up from 6 to 8 inches. And you hardly ever see the claws of a black bear because there is too much fur on top of them. While with a grizzly, he uses the claws for digging. You can really see the claws when he walks. Um, Also, a grizzly has much smaller ears, and yeah, as said, the stubby nose. The color of the fur is not a reliable indicator if you see a black bear or a grizzly. They come in all colors, and it's very hard to distinguish them only by the color of their fur. Now, in terms of behavior, bears generally don't consider humans as prey. It's really more the situations where oh, sorry, there was a brief interruption because the owner of the place where we stay just came around and said hello. So, where have we been? Bear behavior. So, bears will not consider humans prey. Um, the situation when you encounter a bear is more when the bear is really busy, didn't expect you, didn't hear you, and you interrupt him either with his prey or you run in between the bear and his cubs. So these are the dangerous situations. And regardless if it's a grizzly bear or a black bear, the the action you should take is more or less the same. So you don't look directly at the bear, you look at him only sideways and you slowly move away from the bear. If you're not alone, but more people, then try to stay together so that you look bigger and just move away. If the bear uses the trail that you are currently on, then try to get off the trail at least 100 yards away from the bear, and yeah, that's the best solution to really get out of the way of them. Now we just had a bear encounter um, 3 days ago, and we were hiking on a trail, and a group was coming down, and we talked to them, and they said that they actually saw a grizzly, but that it was far off to the left. I would say at least 200 yards from the pictures they showed us. And we said, okay, that's fine. We will be careful and continue walking. And we went up there, and I think maybe 15 minutes later, we took a turn, and midst on the trail was the grizzly. And that was not too far away. It was maybe 20 yards, 30 yards. So, and with the tactics I just told you, not directly looking at him, moving backwards, um, that worked really well. So I'm obviously still here, and my wife is also alive, even though she's not in the frame. Um, but it's scary. I mean, those animals are big, and that leads us to things and equipment you can have um, to better survive or have a better chance in these encounters. The first thing we need to talk about are bear bells. Now, it depends a little bit on where you are, but here in the Montana area, in the Glacier National Park, we have been told by the rangers that bear bells not only don't work, but they even attract mountain lions and sometimes bears because they take a bear bell for an injured bird or something like that. And there is the funny joke: how do you recognize grizzly poo? Because there are bear bells in it. So we saw people with bear bells, but the rangers really advised to not take them. So this is the first thing that I also found a little bit surprising, but seems to be a fact. Also from our experience with the grizzly, so we saw black bears, and those black bears were irritated by noise. You could really see that it affected the behavior of the black bear, and that they basically went away when you made a lot of noise or when you were talking and singing on the trail. With the grizzly we saw, the group that went up before us, they clapped their hand. They were hollering at the grizzly. It didn't work at all. And we were actually talking loudly on the trail while we walked. That also didn't deter him. So, from my personal experience, I would say being loud doesn't help a lot with grizzlies. And if you're actually close to him, trust me, you don't have any, you're not very inclined to be loud. From my personal experience with dogs, I'd say if you have an animal that is so aggressive that it will go towards you, even though it recognizes that you're a human and not a deer, then the bell will not help you with wolves. The second thing you should have is bear spray. I have that here. I have coffee and bear spray. And bear spray, it's a little bit like pepper fog. You can just have that on your belt, remove the clip, and you can spray it. How this should work is that you spray it on the ground between you and the bear. So it should be at least 7 feet, no, 7 meters away from you, so that you don't get it in your eyes yourself. But it should keep the bear away. Now, with mountain lions, this will work as well. The issue is that a mountain lion will likely jump on you, so you have to have a really good aim and can't just spray it on the ground like you did for a bear. Usually, you can spray this for 7 seconds. The ranger said that 2 seconds in Z form, Z for my American friends, should be sufficient. I'm not sure if I would trust that, but that's what they said. Now, we would think of bear spray as something that is not very harmful to the animal, but they told us that it might blind a bear for up to 3 days. So the bear will literally be blind. And if you think about a smaller bear, maybe a black bear that has two cubs, and the mother has to actually defend the cubs against other bears, right? Um, it might be very, very bad for the cubs if the mother is blinded. So it's still not fun and something to joke around with bear spray. You really should, I mean, of course, you only use it in an emergency, but it's not as harmless as you might think. Um, From my personal experience again with wolves and dogs, I would say it will definitely work with dogs and wolves. So I think the issue there is that you have a lot of them around and you might need to hit every one of them. But that really depends on the pack. Okay, and lastly, here in the national parks, you're allowed to bring a gun, but they also have signs there that show you or that say that you should only use the gun as the really last resort. And if you would shoot an animal in a national park, or if you would shoot any animal outside of the regular hunting season, there will be an investigation. So I think it would be prudent to still bring bear spray, even if you have a gun for the extreme emergency. Now, just to briefly recap that, for wolves and mountain lions, look them in the eyes, make them aware that you are a predator as well and not prey. For bears, don't look at them, but just keep them in the side of your vision and try to get out of their way. They will not consider you prey. They should generally leave you alone. And that's the best you can do if you really encounter those animals. That's it for today. A little bit a different topic, but I found it to be very interesting knowledge, and we talked to a lot of people. And yeah, thank you very much for your time watching this. I really appreciate your time. If you liked it, please follow the channel, give us a thumbs up. Any questions, please leave us a comment below. And yeah, I'll see you next time.